guys. Okay, I just got this idea to film a video again, like 2 minutes ago. Well, I've been wanting to film this video for like a minute, but I just haven't, because I don't know why. So today, in this video, I'm gonna talk about, like, how fake people are, okay? I'm gonna tell you, okay, I'm gonna do, like a storyline of, like, when shit started to go bad when I lived in Colorado, okay? Like, when shit, like, yeah, when shit got bad. Or shit, when it started going bad. And, like, this isn't a video to, like, make it sound like I didn't do anything wrong or anything. Because, like, I know, like, I'm a fucking idiot. And I've done, like, a lot of wrong things. But this is gonna tell how people have, like, done me dirty. And people, you know, in my life have always, like, I'm not saying, like, every person in my life, but a lot of people have done me, like, real fucking wrong. And, like, I don't really understand why. But, and it's not necessarily, like, people my age. It's always, like, my friends' fucking parents. Like, literally, my friends' parents start so much shit for me that is just, like, unfucking necessary, okay? Okay, so, it all started going bad about, I would say, in August of last year. Yeah, about in August of last year. So, here's where it all started, okay? I was working on the food truck. Okay, let me give you a little backstory actually first. Okay, so when I moved to Colorado, I was living with Serena, but we were renting a room in Serena's, like, godfather's house. And he owned a food truck, and we were working on his food truck, right? So we were working for him, and he was our goddamn landlord. Terrible, terrible decision. Don't ever fucking do that. Don't ever work for somebody who you live with, because it is just a terrible decision. And my hair looks real frizzy today because, like, I just took a shower and I don't know, this is how it dries. Anyways, okay, so we're living under the same roof as this motherfucker. Oh man, I hate this guy. I hate this guy. And I don't hate many people, but I fucking hate this guy because he is such a fucking douchebag. Okay, so it all started the first day I worked for him, really. Okay, so I worked for him very first fucking day I worked for him. This was like June, like 1st. I worked for him on June 1st. I got into Colorado on like May 30th. So literally like almost the next day. And the thing is, we lived in Fort Collins and we had an event in Denver. It was called like I don't know, like some art festival for the people or something. And so it was so fucking busy, right? Like, first day on the truck, it was extremely freaking busy. And, like, the way he would, like, tell you to do shit, he would be like this. Like, just picture like a kitchen, okay? He'd be like, I need you to go grab that, and then, like, mix them together, and then, yeah. And I'm like, okay, wait, what, and how much do I put in? And then, like, right, you're just like, what? Like, that was not detailed enough to be able to, and when you're making food for people, you know, you want it to, like, taste good. So I'm like, I don't fucking know. So he would, like, so he had, like, a girl that would, like, kind of, like, explain it for us better, which I ended up becoming that girl when that girl quit. But so I started with that, and I was just like, okay. And then I remember halfway through the goddamn day, he was like, Sierra, I need you to go get some cups, like these little cups that we put sauce in, like these little sauce cup things, like little cups. And he gave me a card, and he gave me two cards. And I was like, okay. So I went on a fucking excursion looking for these stupid fucking cups. And he was like, yeah, I need you to get like 200 of them. I was like, okay. And I was in the middle of fucking Denver, and Denver is, like, kind of complicated when you're downtown Denver. It's kind of complicated to get around if you've never fucking been there before. And then on top of that, half of the streets were fucking closed because of this big event that was going on. So I was like, oh my god, what the fuck? So I was like going out looking for these stupid cups, and I went to Walmart, and they didn't have the right cups. I went to fucking all these different fucking stores looking for these cups, and I could not find any. And so eventually I found some. I bought, like, 5 or 6 packets of them, and I get back to the truck. It took me 3 hours, by the way, to do all that, because and then I didn't even know where the place was at, where I was supposed to go back to. I was like, okay, I don't fucking know what I'm doing. This was my first day, my very first day, and there was girls who've been working on that truck for, like, 2 years that could have gone and fucking did this, and I could have fucking chucked corn or something, but no, he sent me on my first day to go get these cups. So I get back, And he's like, where the fuck were you at? And I was like, I was looking for the cups. He's like, well, you're supposed to go to the store right down the street. And I was like, well, why didn't you tell me? He's like, well, what do you think the card I gave you was? And I was like, I don't fucking know. I don't know. Like, how the fuck you expect me to know something like this on my first day? And so he freaking kind of like yelled at me and was like, what the fuck? He's like, you wasted me so much fucking money on these cups, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, I'm sorry. Like, my first day, this is going terrible. I literally remember after my first day, I like got on the phone with my mom and I was like crying. I was like, Mom, I suck at this job. Like, I'm never going to be good at this. And she's like, Sarah, you just got to give it time. Like, go get good at it, which I did. I ended up getting really good at it. And so, you know, we started working for the truck. And since we lived with him, it's like he assumed that, like, since we lived with him, that we worked for him all the fucking time. Like, for example, one time he would like make us have shit, make us make shit in the house all the time, and then he would like literally we'd be sleeping and he would come go unload the truck. Like, I'm at home, it's on my day off, and like you're really asking me to fucking unload the stupid fucking truck? Like, no, it's my day off. So we'd have to fucking do shit like that, and then we'd work these fucking crazy ass fucking hours, like literally like 15-hour shifts. We would work all goddamn day. And with the truck, what you have to do is before the event, like 4 or 5 hours before the event, you got to go to the kitchen, you got to make all the food, you got to unload the truck, you got to load the truck up with everything that you need, you got to make the food and put the food in, and then you go to the event. And then you spend like 9 hours at the event serving food, and then after the event, you get the dishes and you take the truck back, and then the food truck back. You unload the dishes, you do the dishes, you unload everything out of the truck, you clean the truck, and then you put everything back, right? So that's like one whole day worth of thing. And so, since we lived with him, he would literally we would have to go and make the food. Like, me and Serena would have to go and make the food. And then he would go out and do some fucking shit that he needed to do while we made the food. And he would come back when we had all the food made. And then after the event, we had 5 or 6 girls working on this truck. After the event, he'd be like, Sierra and Serena, go do dishes. And he would send everybody else home, even though me and Serena were the first ones on the truck because we made the food, and now we have to do the dishes. But the thing is, if we didn't, what I ended up doing actually was when the event was about over, I would take all the dishes in my car, and I would drive to the kitchen, and I would do the dishes, so that when we get there, all we had to do was the truck so that I could get out of there. Because, if these girls did the dishes, it would take them, 2 fucking hours. And I was like, I don't have time to waste. I'm trying to go party. That was literally my mentality. And so, yeah, that was, it got really irritating when I felt like we were doing all the fucking work, and yet they were making the same amount of money as us when we were doing, 3 times as much work, you know? So, yeah, then that happened. And then, in August, we were working on the truck at a sorority. We were working for, Colorado State, one of the sororities or something. We were, serving food. And I had, a sore throat, and I, didn't feel good. And I was just like, oh my God, I feel like shit. And he's like, well, just go home. I can't have you sick around the truck. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. So I left. I went to my friend's house. Just literally just slept all day because I felt like shit. And then I remember it was midnight. I call Serena and I'm like, Serena, I need you to take me to the emergency room. My throat, I'm crying. I was literally crying. I was like, Serena, my throat hurts so bad. I need you to take me to the emergency room. So she takes me to the emergency room. I end up having strep throat, right? And literally my boss never asked me to work again. And I was like, bitch, what the fuck? So yeah, I ended up having strep throat. And which is weird because after I ended up having strep throat, I did whatever you have to do to get rid of that. And then a few days later, I fucking took some acid, right? And then when I took the acid, before I took the acid, I had a little itchy mark on my arm, and I was like, oh my God, my arm is fucking itchy. I don't know if I've told the story before, but it's kind of funny. My arm was I had a little itchy rash on my arm, right here, and I was just, I don't know, it was kind of itchy, and then I took some acid, not thinking, because sometimes you have little itchy spots, they're nothing. Took the acid, and then a few hours into the acid trip, I started noticing that my other arm was itchy, and my legs were itchy, and my whole fucking body was itchy. And yeah, then the rash spread all over my body, on my face, on my neck, on my back, on my butt, on my legs, on my arms. It was so fucking bad. And so I Ubered to the emergency room. Me and my friend Ubered to the emergency room while we were tripping, and they're like, yeah, the strep is coming out in your skin. That can happen. And I was like, I've never heard of that happening, but I just need something to get rid of this. So they gave me some pills or something, to take. And I remember me and my friend had eczema, so like we, like, you know that calamine lotion, like that pink lotion. We literally went through like 2 bottles of that shit because I was like rubbing it all over my fucking body because I was so fucking itchy. So yeah, anyways, okay, so continue on with like how my life started getting shitty. So he stopped asking me to work because in his eyes, if I didn't go home, apparently that meant I didn't want to work, which that's not the case. I didn't go home because I didn't want to fucking see him because I had to work with him every fucking day, and he like irritated me. Like, here's another example of what he would do. I would make the food how I know how to make the food, and it would be kind of complicated because like I don't want to mess it up, so I would like do it this way, and then he would come over and laugh and be like, you know, you could have done it like it would have taken me 10 minutes less if I would have done it the way he's saying it, but he never would fucking tell me how to do it. He would like let us figure it out and then come over and be like, oh yeah, you could have done it like this, you know? Like, dude, why don't you fucking help us out, you know? And so, yeah, he stopped asking me to work. Like, literally all from, like, after that day that I went home sick because I had fucking strep throat, he, like, never asked me to work again. And, this is when shit started getting real bad. I'm starting to, the reason I'm bringing this up is because a few days ago, me and my dad were talking about it, and, like, fucking irritates me. So, I was just chilling, and I get this fucking text from my sister, and she's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing out there? Like, mom and dad are, like, getting messages, like, nonstop from Serena's mom, and, like, she's making you look really fucking bad. And I was like, well, what is she saying? And she's like, well, she's saying that you're selling drugs and you're stealing from Serena and just doing, like, stuff like that, like, super, like, obviously the drug thing was true, but she was saying that, like, not the drug, selling the drugs, but, like, I was doing drugs, but, like, I wasn't selling drugs, I wasn't fucking stealing from Serena, I wasn't, like, screwing Serena out of the rent, I wasn't doing any of that shit, right? And so, I just recently saw the messages that Serena had sent my mom, or Serena's mom had sent my mom, and she was saying shit like, I'm so unappreciative, and I was, like, screwing Serena out of the rent and just leaving her to do it by herself and leaving her to pay $700. Like, that's not fucking true, dude. Like, even my dad helped me pay rent when I wasn't getting hours because my fucking boss, like, stopped asking me to come into work. My dad was paying my rent for me. So, obviously, that's not fucking true, and this bitch don't know what the fuck she's talking about. But she's going on about how, like, they helped me get that far, and it's just so fucking wrong of me to just screw everybody over and say fuck it to everybody. And then she started bashing my mom on her fucking parenting skills. And my mom's, like, texting my dad, and my mom's like, this bitch is fucking crazy. Like, I can't get her to stop. And even my mom was, like, not being mean at all. She's like, yeah, I understand. Like, we're trying to figure out what's going on with Sierra and, like, doing all this, like, just, you know, trying to be like, yeah, like, we get it. We know she's fucked up. We got it. You don't need to keep telling us how bad of parents we are. And so her mom just kept going. My mom ended up having to fucking block her. And right after she blocked her and my dad were on the phone, and she's like, yeah, like, you might get a message from her. As soon as she said that, this bitch texts my dad and starts fucking going off on my dad. And my dad's like, you know, we can talk about this like adults. And then all of a sudden she's like, well, it's kind of late here, and, like, I don't, like, you know, just coming up with all these fucking excuses why they can't talk on the phone and talk it out like adults. Instead, she's going over here, little fucking keyboard bitch, like, typing all this bullshit about me. And, like, my parents, like, they know I fucked up in the past, but they know the kind of person that I am, and all this shit that this bitch was saying was, like, not me at all. And they were like, this is, like, you need to check your sources, because, like, I know my daughter, and she's not like that. She does not do that kind of, like, yeah, she messes up, and she does drugs and stupid shit like that, but, like, she's not that kind of person. And so I just saw those messages, like, a few days ago. And so me and my dad were talking about it, and what I think was happening was, and the worst part, though, is when all this shit came out, I texted Serena, and I was like, dude, you need to tell your mom to back the fuck up. And she's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, don't fucking play dumb, dude. Like, I was like, okay, I forgot to do this part. In the process of her mom freaking out on my parents, she sent my mother every Instagram picture of mine, and my mom didn't even know about my YouTube channel at the time. My dad knew because he found it, but my mom had no fucking clue about my YouTube channel. And she sent her all my fucking Instagram pictures and everything. And so, like, yeah, that was something. And so I was like, I texted her and I was like, dude, what the fuck? And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I was like, don't fucking play dumb with me. Like, obviously you fucking know what's going on. And then I blocked her on everything. I was so fucking mad. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you're supposed to be my best fucking friend, and this is how you do me, really? And so, now a few months later, like just like literally a few months ago, I was like talking to Serena and blocked her because I was like, she was my best friend for so long that it's kind of like, you know, I don't really have anybody to talk to besides like my sister. So I like unblocked her and I was like gone to apologize and I was like, did you even know what was going on? And she's like, dude, I honestly had I still don't fucking know what happened. So I told her what happened and yeah, so Serena wasn't even involved in it. What I think happened was I think Joe, my fucking boss, yeah, I'll say his fucking name. I think that motherfucker was literally sending Serena's mom, like, that I was, like, doing all this shit, which is not their fucking place to talk about me, you know what I mean? Like, mind your own goddamn business, you know, let me fuck up my life by myself, you don't need to, like, and Joe always used to be like, I don't want to have to parent you. Well, then don't parent me, dude, I'm a fucking adult, you're my fucking landlord and my boss, you don't need to be my fucking dad, I have a dad. I say that to him all the time, because he would always say that shit. And the craziest part was, he was like, he ended up saying, so when I told him that I was going to have to go back to Nebraska for a while, the first time I came back here, I was like, hey, like, I'm going to have to go back to Nebraska for a little while. And he's like, oh, okay, well, make sure you get your shit straight and get back here next summer to work for me. And I was like, oh, yeah, for sure, because, like, the money was great. And then literally the next day, he texts my dad, and he's like, yeah, I just don't know if I can trust her, because, like, she always comes to work fucked up, which is not fucking true. I never went to work fucked up. The only thing I ever went to work on was weed, and he literally let me smoke behind the trailer during an event. Like, he had no issue with me smoking, as long as it wasn't, like, out in the open, or, like, right in front of a fucking police officer, you know? And he literally gave me cocaine while I was working there. So, like, how can you worry about me going to work on drugs when you have drugs at work? Like, bitch. So yeah, he was like, just all that fucking stupid shit. And I'm like, so like, to my parents, I'm over there in Colorado, like, not knowing what the fuck they're hearing about, which really all I was doing in Colorado was mostly just sitting there smoking, watching fucking 12 seasons of Forensic Files. How do I have time to go and steal and do all this other fucking shit that apparently I'm doing when I'm watching 12 fucking seasons of Forensic Files? I just, like, and this is not the first time that a parent has gotten involved in my life when they had no fucking place to get involved in my life. They always like to, like, go and tell my parents all these things that they think about me, which they don't even know me. So how the fuck can you sit there and tell my parents all this shit when, like, you don't even fucking know me, or you don't know my life? You know, you're just, like, looking at what the outside of me looks like. It's just fucking bullshit. And Serena's mom, she's a fucking psycho bitch. Like, fucking psycho fucking bitch. Serena, I hope you're watching this, and I know you know your mom's fucking psycho bitch. Like, I remember when I was in, I think this was, like, right after, or, I don't remember when, I think this was, like, right after, I think this was, like, the first time I ever did something with a boy, which really wasn't even that bad. Yeah, it was something, I did something with a boy, and obviously I'm gonna tell my best friend about it. I went to her house, and I was, like, telling her about it. I was like, oh my god, Serena, I touched his dick, like, oh my god, like, just something like that, and, her mom was standing out the door listening. Like, listening to my conversation. And, like, literally 2 minutes later, her mom calls her, Serena, come here. And Serena goes over there. And she comes back. And I was like, what happened? She was like, oh, my God, my mom heard everything you're saying. And she was, like, really worried about you, that you're being a hoe. Like, dude, literally, this is the first thing I'd ever done with a boy. And I think I was, like, 15. Like, the first thing I'd ever done with a boy. Like, I didn't do much with boys besides kiss boys and hold their hands. Like, this was the first time I ever did anything. And it wasn't even nothing crazy. It was literally, like, I just, like, touched his dick or something. Like, not even, I didn't suck his dick. I didn't do nothing like that. I just, like, touched it. And I was telling her about it. And her mom was, like, crying. And was like, oh, my God, you're a whore. Like, blah, 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 blah. And, like, Serena was a little more, out there than I was. So her mom's sitting there like, I really hope you don't become like that. And crying about me telling a story about touching a little boy's pee-pee. Like, are you not? Okay, that sounds really pedophile-ish. Like, no, he was like 16 and I was like 15. But yeah, like, and then she got all fucking involved with that. Like, bitch, mind your own fucking business and you wouldn't have to hear shit you don't want to hear about. And I just can't stand this bitch. So yeah, that's how people get involved in my life, when they really don't need to. And then they go and tell lies about me. And they make me look like this. Oh, here's another example. This isn't a parent. I understand why they get involved in this. Okay, so this bitch posted something about me. And I know this is completely wrong in every fucking way. And, like, I've dealt with that. I know. Okay? This bitch posted something on Twitter about me. And I don't even use Twitter. But, like, I had just gotten Twitter. And this bitch, she didn't post it. But I was dating this guy that she really liked. And she posted something on Twitter and was like, we all know a hoe named Sierra. So I screenshotted it. I sent it to Serena. And I was like, okay, bitch, let's get this chick. And so she's like, oh, okay, I got you. So we're so wrong. She was like kind of a chubby girl. Nothing against chubby people, but she's kind of chubby. So we're making like, oh, this is so bad. I don't even want to tell this because like I sound like such a cunt. But just remember, she posted something about me first, like out of fucking nowhere. Didn't even know me, nothing. She just posted. We all know a hoe named Sierra. So obviously I cyberbullied her a little bit, and she never commented back. But all these other people are like, why are you being so mean out of nowhere? Like, she didn't do anything to you, because she removed the fucking comment, right? As soon as I posted something back, she removed the comment. And I was like, dude, you don't even know what you're talking about. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, who are you? Like, leave, type shit. And lo and behold, it gets all the way to the principal. The fucking principal. I actually first started with my soccer coach, and he's like, what's this stuff going on online? And I was like, well, somebody posted something about me, so I posted something back about them. But now everybody's like teaming up and hating on me because I posted something back about them. And yeah, I will admit, I was a really big cunt. I was like, oh, like damn. And so this is the awkwardest part. I went to the principal's office. They called me to the principal's office, and they're like, okay, like, are you cyberbullying? And I was like, what do you mean? I didn't say no, but I was like, no, something like that. And they're like, well, they have my mom on the phone too. They're like, well, we read your mom, all of your posts that you made about this girl. And I was like, and dude, like, oh my God, it was so, because I was so mean. My mom was like, what kind of child did I raise? But like, and I remember my mom even like, she was like, just don't comment on it, Sierra. And I was like, it was like eating me up inside. I was like, how can this bitch just post something about me and I just not say anything back? Like, that is not fucking right. I have to set my ground, and I have to, let people know that they can't fucking just post shit about me. And so they read all the fucking tweets to my mom. It was so bad. They were like literally sitting there just reading them right in front of me. And then they're like, so why did you do this? And I was like, well, did anybody tell you? Because multiple people had came in and told the principal that like I was cyberbullying this girl. And I was like, well, did anybody tell you that like she posted something about me first? And they're like, no. And I was like, well, I have a screenshot. And they're like, oh, well, can we see it? I was like, yeah, here you go. And then they asked her about it, and she's like, oh, I was posting that about my sister. And I know this bitch is an only child because my boyfriend was, like, best friends with her. And I was like, and he's like, yeah, she's an only child, so she gets bored. So, like, we hang out. And I was like, oh, okay. So she tried to say it was about her fucking sister. And I was like, she's an only child. And they were like, oh, yeah, huh? And I was like, yeah, so, like, she made that about me. So I didn't just go out of nowhere and start hating on this chick. But, of course, nobody had my back and was like, yeah, like, they posted something about her, like, it was kind of equal, like, she posted something, and she posted something, but no, everybody's like, Sierra just started being mean out of nowhere, so, like, it was just so fucking irritating. I was like, dude, but yeah, then my mom being the great mother she is, she was like, Sierra, we're having a garage sale, and she's like, Sierra, you have to watch 5 videos about cyberbullying and why not to do it, and then I'm gonna ask you questions about it. So we're sitting in the stupid fucking garage sale that we're doing, and I'm watching these stupid fucking videos that she's like making me watch to make me learn a lesson or something. Yeah, I never cyberbullied after that, but I was never a cyberbully in the first place, so it was kind of like, she posted something about me first. And then that also goes along the lines of the time, literally like 3 months ago. I don't know if anybody of you follow me on Instagram, but you know what I'm talking about. Just a disclaimer. I do not have fucking HIV. I don't have AIDS. I don't have any type of sexual transmitted diseases. Nothing like that. Never had one. I don't sleep around. Like, never. I never sleep around. I could go without sex and be perfectly fine. But, somebody, and I think I know who that somebody is, posted something. Oh, it all started with this girl taking my pictures, okay? She was taking my pictures, and I was like, all I wanted was a little bit of credit. Like, yeah, just tag me in the pictures and, like, say it's my picture. Because, like, she'd post pictures of these fat-ass blunts and be like, about to smoke. But, like, bitch, I know you're not smoking that blunt because I smoked that blunt, like, six fucking months ago, okay? So all I did was, like, oh, like, can I get some credit? And she continued to steal my pictures. And so I put her on blast, and I was like, this chick is stealing my pictures. Like, what the fuck? All I want is some goddamn credit. And I mean, it really wasn't that important to me, but it's just like, I don't like when people steal my pictures, you know? And it was just weed pictures at this point. And then she takes a picture of me and my ex-boyfriend and puts it on her Instagram. It's like, oh, my babies. And it was a picture of me and my boyfriend and the dog. And I was like, okay, this is getting weird. And so I put it on blast, blah, 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 blah. And then I get messages from her friend, and they're like, stop being mean to her. Like, she was just a fan, and, like, she just liked her picture. Okay, yeah, but give me credit on my goddamn pictures, okay? So I went from that, and there's pictures, like, my ex, like, girlfriend, I guess I consider her. I don't fucking know. She was fucking cunt. Anyways, she was taking her pictures, too. And so I was like, yo, like, Ivory, like, they're taking her pictures. And she, like, just laughed. And I was like, okay, obviously you're not that worried about it. Okay. And then all of a sudden, here comes this picture. It's a black picture. It's all black. And it says, I just wanted to let everybody know that Sierra Sil is HIV positive because I'm HIV positive and I fucked her a month ago. And the only person I was, like, fucking at the time was my ex-boyfriend. So I was like, what the fuck? And people are like, yo, like, did you see this? Did you see this? Someone's saying you're HIV positive. They made a whole fucking account just to... And the caption was literally like, everybody should know that Sierra Sil is HIV positive and she's nasty and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, and none of it was true. And literally, I hadn't done anything to anybody besides, like, comment about this girl. So I figured it was her. But I was talking to, like, her friend or whatever. And she's like, dude, like, that's not her. I swear it is. So come to behold, I figured out, I'm pretty sure, because the only people that were tagged in the pictures was me, and Bella, Ivory's sister. And the only person liking the pictures was Ivory. And the only person following the account was Ivory. So I'm like, I text Bella, I was like, dude, like, why are you letting your sister do this to me? Like, this is, like, fucked up. Like, this is really fucked up. And I literally at this point hadn't done anything. Like, this bitch broke up with me. And now she's, like, coming at me all crazy like this. So it was just, oh my God. People, I don't know. I don't understand why people like to do these things to me. Which I don't really do anything to anybody. Like, shit, I mind my own business more than anything, because I don't like getting involved in drama, so I'd prefer to just be not in drama. It's hot as a motherfucker in this car. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go. I did not mean for this video to be this long. And sorry to all you people that are like, it's so boring just watching you talk. Like, here, I'll hit this vape one time for you, so it's not all talking. Whatever. Yeah, so... I don't know. I don't really know what else to do in my videos because, like, all I have is stories. Because my life is full of fucking stories. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe if you want. And, follow me on Instagram and Snapchat. Instagram is 420dopey_x. My Snapchat is Sierra Sil. And, yeah, I think that's it. Alright, guys. Bye.